Hi everyone, my name is Kelly. Welcome to another stretch session. Today we're going to work from the ground up and you will need a block. Okay, so without further ado, let's just get right into it. We are going to start from the ground up. That's the whole point. So our first position is to tuck our toes, sit on our heels and work through our plantar fascia, okay, which is the fascia or the skin and the tissue, all that connective tissue around our feet, right through the arch of our foot. And when that gets really nice and tight, everything upstream through the back of our legs gets really nice and tight as well. And that's why we have problems with Achilles or calves or hamstrings or even further up into our lower back. So it's really important that we just open everything up nice and gently and slowly right from the ground. It just gives us so much space later on. Okay, take your final big breath here, breathing into your belly. I know it's not so comfortable, but as you exhale, please try to relax. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Wonderful. Okay, when you're ready, slowly peel out of there. And then we're going to reverse that. So pop your block down and then pop your toes on top of it, right on the edge if you can. And then we're slowly going to sit back on our heels, pressing them together as well. All right, so we start to open what we call a tibialis anterior muscle and the talocol joint at the front of our ankles. Okay, this is again not a very nice stretch, so just breathe and relax into it as much as you can. I find that while you're doing this, best way to breathe is super deeply in through the nose and out the mouth, just so you can relax and create that space within your body, calm that nervous system down, and everything will be fine. All right, slowly peel yourself off there. All right, roll your feet out, and then let's come on up to our feet, nice and slow. From here, you're going to pop one of your toes up on that block. Okay, from here, we're slowly going to start to work into a calf stretch. So we push from the back leg and swing over our toes to feel the stretch through the back of our front leg. If you're struggling to get your fingers on the floor right now, you can totally lift yourself up onto a block, or if that's still a big struggle, then you can get yourself a chair in front of you. Okay, just whatever works best for you. And we're slowly going to rock back and forth, just isolating that stretch in the one calf muscle. Maybe you're feeling it through your Achilles, maybe you're feeling it through the back of your knee as well. That's awesome, okay? All these areas of tension and tightness, while we open them up, it's just going to make us easier to open up bigger muscles later on. All right, so take a big breath as you exhale, press through for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back, take your toes off there, and then let's switch the feet over. All right, so toes come on top of the block on the other side. When you're ready, fingertips either come to the floor or up onto your block, whatever feels best for you, and then slowly start to swing back and forth, feeling that stretch through your other calf muscle, other Achilles, other hamstring, all the way up the back of the leg. Okay, take another big breath in. And as you exhale, really press through the toes. Last time, press yourself forward, stay there. Try to relax. And slowly, when you're ready, take the tension off there. Peel your toes off the block, pop it back down, and then lay down on your back. Okay, we're going to work through our sciatic nerve flosses. Okay, so lay down, lace all of your fingers behind one of your legs. Take a breath and then extend your leg up to the ceiling. Flex the toes down to your face. Feel that super fun sciatic nerve through the back of your leg start to light up. And then when you're ready, relax the tension and then bend back down. All right, we're going to do that one more time. Okay, so big extension. Try and pull that knee as close to your chest as you can, extending it as much as possible, and then flex the toes down to the face. Take a breath, try to relax, and then slowly relax the tension off that nerve and bend the knee back down. All right, take your knee across your body towards your opposite shoulder, and we're just going to torque that nerve a little differently, all right? So extend the knee across your body. When you flex the toes down to the face, you should feel a little bit more through the side of your leg, yeah? Take a big breath here. relax the tension off that nerve, and then slowly come all the way back down. Let's try that just one more time. Yeah, when you're ready, extend. This time we flex, but then we also turn the sole of the foot down to the floor. See if we can feel something even worse through the side of our leg. Try to relax as much as you can and come back down. Well done. All right, take that foot across on top of your other knee, flex the foot, lace your fingers behind the other leg, and then come into a figure four. All right, for your glute and your piriformis. All right, take a breath as you exhale. Focus on pressing your elbow into your knee and just relaxing. If you want a little bit more, yeah, you can take your fingers, lace them over the top of your shin bone, and then pull in nice and tight. While everyone's here, take a breath and lift your tailbone off the floor. As you exhale, try and really dig and imprint it back down and press and drive your knee out to the side. Right, you should feel that a lot more through your glute. Take another breath. As you exhale, try to relax. Now, if that is enough for you, you can stay there, or our last extension is to extend that back leg, hold onto your calf, your ankle, or your foot. Today, whatever you've got, yeah, and then to keep that foot flexed as you breathe, lift the tailbone off again. As you exhale, drive the sit bones back down to the floor, press the knee out for the last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Right, slowly, when you're ready, get out of there and relax, and then let's try that whole sequence on the other side. Right, so lace your fingers behind the other leg, and when you're ready, pull that knee in nice and close and extend the leg. When you're ready, flex the toes down to your face. Feel how that really changes the feeling through the back of your leg. Relax the tension through the nerve and then bend back down. All right, let's try that one more time. Okay, pull the knee in as close as you can. Extend the knee as much as humanly possible. Flex your toes down to your face. Just breathe. And as you exhale, relax the tension off that nerve and slowly come back down. All right, team, take your knee across your body. When you're ready, extend that leg. Let's try to find a different feeling through that nerve. As you exhale, try to relax the tension off that nerve and then bend back down. And then you've got your last one, okay? So when you're ready, reset. Really make sure that hip bone stays on the floor. Extend the leg across the body. Big breath in. As you exhale, flex the foot. Try to relax. Take another breath and use your exhale again to roll the sole of the foot down to the floor. See if that changes what you're feeling. And then slowly bend all the way back down. All right, when you're ready, come on into a figure four. So flex your foot across on top of your knee. Lace your fingers behind your other leg. Press your elbow into your knee. And then pull that leg towards your chest. My team should feel really nice through the glutes and the piriformis. Now you know where to go if you want that little bit more, yeah? So lace your fingers over the top of your shin bone. Take a breath, and as you exhale, pull the knee towards the chest. Super gently, just relax here. Amazing. All right, team, if you want that last little bit, you know where to go again. Extend the back leg. Hold on to the calf or the ankle. Breathe in. And as you exhale, really imprint that spine, lower back and glutes down to the floor. Press the knee out. Try to relax for the last 5 seconds. Right, team, when you're ready, you've let all that air go. Bend your knees into your chest. Give yourself a wee cuddle. And maybe roll that lower back left and right. And then we're going to work up into our quads. Okay, so slowly lift yourself up. Bring that block back and pop it on the floor. Okay, we're going to work slowly into our couch stretch. So, lucky we have a couch here. If you do have a couch, make your way to it. If you don't, you can use a wall. Okay, so pop your knee on the block if you can. Fling your leg up against the couch or the wall to find your couch stretch. Okay, make sure that front leg is in 90 degrees to start with. Squeeze your back glute, then think about tipping those hips back as much as you can. You should feel that quad a lot. All right, take a big breath. As you exhale, try and think about stacking your shoulders on top of your hips, tipping your pelvis back and making sure your hips are in line. Okay, from here we just breathe and try to relax and pretend we're anywhere else. Yeah, so big breath into your belly. As you exhale, shoulders drop away from our ears. Just try to relax. Keep focusing on tipping the pelvis back. Nice. Okay, when you're ready, team, we're going to come down to the floor. So take a step further out from the couch. Hands come inside of your foot. Make sure the ankle and the knee are in line. And then you just start to rock through the hip. See if you can feel any other areas potentially through the front of your hip flexor. All right, so really focus on squeezing your glute and pressing your hip to the floor. That last big breath here. All right, when we're ready, let's come back up again. Okay, so bring your front leg in just a touch, lift yourself up and find your couch stretch. Okay, make sure you're nice and balanced. If you do need some support, use another chair or a couch here or a foam roller or somebody else. Make sure you're nice and square in that hip position. If you are feeling too much through the quad right now and this is really quite hard to stand up straight, be tall in your posture, I mean, focus on just getting that feeling and then extending backwards, all right? Don't do anything more than that. If you do want a little bit more and you're not feeling enough, you can take your hand to the outside of your front knee, slowly look over your back shoulder, focus on squeezing that glute as much as you can, and then you should feel a muscle called your TFL, or a side line of that quad. And that is usually a really difficult muscle to get to and stretch, all right? So breathe into it if you can. As you exhale, keep looking past your shoulder, drive your front hand and knee together. And slowly, when you're ready, come back to the front. Nice, okay. Come back down and let's try that all on the other side. All right, team, when you're ready, bring the other knee onto the block, fling it up against the couch, the wall, whatever you got, and then lift your leg into your couch stretch. Make sure ankle and knee are in line before you lift yourself up. Okay, once you get here, pop your hands onto the couch or the wall or your support. Focus on squeezing your glute, tipping that pelvis back and then aligning your hips. Okay, so if you're feeling a little skew whiff, just take a look down and make sure that those hip bones are in line. From here, we just breathe and try to relax, okay? Breathing in through your nose. And as you exhale, try to relax. Nice work, team. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to go down. So take one step further forward, hands come inside of your foot, make sure that your ankle and your knee of the front leg are in line, and then just start to squeeze and contract the back glute as much as you can, pressing the hip down to the floor. What you should feel is some muscles through the front of your hip flexors. But if you start to rock around a little, you can feel some really cool areas. Cool. Unsure about cool, but cool, that's my definition of it anyway. Cool areas in your hip that need a little bit more attention, okay? So take a breath. As you exhale, let's lift ourselves up. Come back to our couch stretch for the last time. Okay, focus on lifting your whole entire body backwards, yeah? Stacking your hips on top of your shoulders, squeezing your glute, pulling your pelvis forward, and then keeping your hip bones in line, okay? From there, if that's enough, you can stay there. If you want a little bit more, work your way into your twist, all right? So front hand comes outside of your knee, press them together, give them a little bit of tension, take your hand behind you and then slowly look behind, all right? Squeezing your glute, pressing your hip forward, finding that awesome feeling through the side of your hip. All right, team, as you breathe, find some space, and as you exhale, rotate, revolve, look over that back shoulder for 3 and 2 and 1. Very nice, team. Slowly come all the way back down and relax. All right, have a seat on your bottom, shake your legs out in front of you, and then we're going to work through our 1990s. Okay, so 90 degrees with the front leg and then 90 degrees with the back. If you have a mat, make sure that you're lined up perfectly equally at those 90-degree angles at your knees. Okay, turn your shoulders towards your front shin bone, hands come outside of your knee and your ankle. Okay, from here we really focus on keeping that spine nice and long as you slowly extend forward. All right, so really try to not concave because you'll lose the contraction and the stretch through your glute, and we don't want that, okay? So take a breath. As you exhale, extend your whole body and torso over that front shin bone. Okay, if that feels good, you can just stay there and breathe. If it doesn't today, okay, always come back up. And if you want that little bit more, you can always pop your block in front of you, come down to your elbows, or all the way down to the floor. All right, it's totally up to you. Make sure you feel that stretch through your glute and the external rotators of your front leg. Take a big breath here. And as you exhale, let's lift our chest up and slowly work into some internal rotation. So bring your hand on top of your knee, press it down, take your other fingers behind your glute and your bottom, then slowly rotate and drive your hip down to the floor. As you do that, look over your back shoulder and focus on pressing that hip down as much as you can. Now that might not feel like a stretch, okay, but it's actually working on getting your femur bone, that ball of the bone, to push right back into the socket, which actually allows you to squat deeper and be a lot more functional. Okay, so big breath as you exhale, look over your back shoulder for 3, 2, and 1. Well done, team. Slowly come forward, extend back over your shin bone. Now team, this should be a lot easier than when we first started because we've created some more space through the back. So just relax into your new extended position in that 90-90. If that is not enough for you and you want a little bit more, you can totally extend out the back leg, roll the hip over, and then just breathe gently in through the nose and out the mouth. And stay there. All right? When you're ready, let's bring that back leg in, lift the chest high, and well done. All right, switch your legs over and let's try that whole thing on the other side, okay? 90 degrees of the front leg, 90 degrees of the back. Once you've got that, turn your shoulders towards your shin bone, hand come outside of your knee and your ankle, and then just breathe gently. As you exhale, focus on extending that entire spine over your shin bone. Really focus on not rounding through that back. Now, if it is comfortable, you can totally come down to your elbows. If it isn't today, that's fine. Stay up nice and tall, all right? Make sure you can feel the stretch in your glute and the external rotators of your front leg. As you exhale, let's lift our chest up and work into that internal rotation. So hand comes down, fingertips behind, slowly start to push your sit bone down to the floor, look over your back shoulder, take a breath, and as you exhale, keep working into that internal rotation. All right, last big breath. Lift, and as you exhale, look over your back shoulder for 3, 2, and 1. All right, slowly return and then come down to your new extended 90-90 position. All right, this should feel a little bit easier than when you started. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. Yeah, go back and try again. All right, extend out your back leg and then really focus on pulling that hip over as much as you can. All right, only if you want that little bit more. Okay, team, last big breath. As you exhale, try to relax. All right, bring the back leg in, lift the chest up, bring your legs in front of you, give them a jiggle, and then we're going to work through some groin rocks. Okay, so come onto your hands and knees, pop one of your feet out to the side, and take your knee out just a little bit wider if you'd like to, yeah? Because we're just going to rock back and forth. So hands come onto the floor, big breath in, rock forward. As you exhale, sit back, pivot on the heel, turn your big toe up to the ceiling, come down to your elbows if you can. Feel that stretch right through the inner line of your leg. Take another breath, rock on forward, and as you exhale, we'll do that again. All right, so swivel back. Think about driving your sit bones back as much as you can, turning your big toe up to the ceiling, and relaxing. When you're ready, rock forward, plant the big toe into the floor, reset the pelvis. So when you're ready, take a breath and let's try that again, okay? That should feel a little different, yeah? When you plant the big toe down, you should get some different fibers through the inner side of your leg. So breathe. As you exhale, rock forward. And last time. Let's slowly sit back, keeping that big toe down. Finding the stretch through our inner thighs. And as you exhale, pressing back, switching the leg over. And other side, okay? When you're ready, take a breath. As you exhale, sit the weight back. Make sure you tuck that toe, pivot on the heel, stick your butt cheeks back, find that stretch right through the inner line of your leg. Slowly rock forward, and let's try that again. All right, slowly extending back. Really focus on finding that stretch first and relaxing into it. When you're ready, slowly come forward. Pop the big toe back down into the floor, take a breath, and then slowly hinge back. All right, focus on sticking those butt cheeks back. Find a different feeling through the inside leg. rock forward. Last one, take a breath and slowly come on back. Right, that should feel a little bit better. Yeah, slowly come forward and relax. Well done. All right, we're gonna lay down onto our back and work through our open books. Okay, so if you'd like to, you can take the block and pop it right next to you. Pull your knee into your chest, give yourself a cuddle, pull it to 90 degrees, and then take it over and pop that knee on the block if you'd like to, okay? If this is very, very uncomfortable for you and perhaps you have a lower back pain, don't do this, okay? I'm gonna do this today just because it is easier for me, but if that is too much for you, please go back, all right? Take a breath when you're ready, draw the line along your arm, and then slowly open into your open book position. From here, take a breath, and as you exhale, press your knee to the floor, press your shoulder to the floor, look down the line of your arm, and as you exhale, slowly come all the way back. All right, and again, when you're ready, draw the line along your shoulders. Big breath in. As you exhale, relax. And when you're ready, let's do that last one. Big breath in, reach as far as you can, and then slowly draw the line along your shoulders. There we go. Okay, driving those shoulders into the floor, pressing the knee down. Take your last big breath. And as you exhale, let's relax. Slowly closing your book, and then bringing both knees into your chest, giving yourself a wee cuddle. And let's try the other side, all right? So reach the other leg long. Take the other leg to 90 degrees across your body. Tack it to the floor. Bring that block if you need it. And then reach. When you're ready, take a breath and draw that line along your chest. Look down the line of your arm. As you exhale, really relax into that position, pressing your knee to the floor, pressing your shoulder to the floor. Well done. All right, slowly draw that line along your arm again. And let's do two more, just like that. All right, big breath. As you exhale, slowly come back. And last one, drawing that line, driving the shoulder, the elbow, and then the fingers down into the floor. Take a big breath. And as you exhale, close. Well done, team. Okay, bring your knees back into your chest. Give yourself a wee cuddle. And then we're going to roll over onto our tummy and work through our baby cobras to up dogs. Okay, so slowly roll over onto your tummy. Hands come behind your shoulders, all right? Squeeze your glutes first. Take a big breath in and then press your pelvis to the floor to lift yourself up. Okay, from here, try to keep your feet together, squeezing your glutes and squeezing your legs together, okay? Keep breathing and pressing the floor away. If this is too much for your upper back, bring your elbows in front of you, okay? From here, press your whole forearm into the floor, lift your chest high, keep your shoulder blades retracted, team. And as you exhale, slowly roll all the way back down. Hands underneath shoulders again, okay? Roll your shoulders back, squeeze your glutes, press your pelvis down. Lift yourself up again. This time your belly button is really stuck to the floor, so stay here. Keep those arms nice and soft. Pull your shoulders away from your ears, and then take a breath and lift your chest high. As you exhale, slowly roll all the way back down. And now last one. All right, when you're ready, come up to where it feels right for you today. Squeeze your glutes, press the floor away, and lift yourself up. From here, keep your hip bones close to the floor, or on the floor if you can. Bring your hands out as in front of you as much as you can to keep your shoulders retracted and depressed, yeah, away from your ears. Keep those elbows nice and soft. Take your last big breath in, and then slowly roll all the way back down to the floor. Press your weight back to your child's pose. When you're ready, all right, feet together, knees wide, arms extended out in front of you, and just relax there. All right, take a big breath into your belly. Really focus on relaxing everything in that area. And now slowly, let's roll forward through to our up dog from our child's pose. So from here, pull your pelvis forward, tuck your tail as much as you can, and then focus on slowly rolling down to the floor, pressing your hips down first, making sure glutes are squeezed, open up through your shoulders, take a big breath in. And as you exhale, slowly pull yourself back to child's pose. All right, let's keep this in sync with our breath. All right, so as we breathe in, come forward. As you exhale, hips drive to the floor, lift your chest high, take a breath in, and exhale to come back. Well done, team. All right, one more time. Take a breath to rock on forward, rolling and articulating one little vertebrae at a time. Press your hips forward, open up through the chest, and as you exhale, slowly press back. And relax. All right, arms out in front, hips onto heels. Take a big breath. And as you exhale, we're slowly going to roll all the way back up to all fours, and then slowly come down onto our tummy. All right, from here, we're going to work through some scorpions, okay? So extend your arms out to the side, bend one leg, lift the knee, take that big toe across your body towards your opposite fingers, all right? You should feel a lovely twist right through your hips and your lower back. All right, take a breath and press your shoulder towards the floor. When you're ready, slowly roll back to your belly, and let's try the other side, all right? Bend, lift, take that big toe across your body, and onto the floor. Okay, once you've got there, take a breath. As you exhale, press your chest to the floor for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back to the belly, and one more each side. When you're ready, bend, lift. Big toe comes right across the body towards the opposite fingers. Once you've got it on the floor, just relax into that twist. Slowly roll back. And last side, when you're ready, bend, lift. Big toe comes across the bod. Try to relax there. As you exhale, slowly come back to the belly and relax. Well done, team. Slowly lift yourself up onto all fours first, and then rise onto your knees. Okay, squeeze your glutes as much as you can. Point one toe out to the side. Hand comes down to the floor, and then we just reach over to the side. Okay, so we find that opening through our side line of our body. Take a breath and think about extending out of your fingers and your toes. Lift your hips and your ribs up to the ceiling. Find that gorgeous sideline stretch. Make sure that elbow's behind your ear. Big breath in. And as you exhale, slowly come down and around the front, and let's reset on the other side. So hand, knee, toe, glute squeeze comes first, and then we reach over to the side. All right, find the same sideline stretch through this side, reaching out of your fingers, reaching out of your toes. Lift your ribs and your hips up to the ceiling. Big breath in. And team, as you exhale, just relax into that stretch, letting the fingers drop closer to the floor. Awesome. Right, slowly come down and around the front, and let's come onto all fours. Again, this time we tuck our toes. One hand comes just to the middle of our chest in front of us, and from here we lift into a little twist through our shoulder blades and our chest. Okay, big breath in. As you exhale, let's take our hips back down to our heels, thread the needle, and reach right the way through the gap between our wrist and our knee. Okay, from here, sit your weight back as much as you can and extend your arms out in either direction as much as possible. Okay, press your armpit down towards your bicep, and then feel that little twist through your middle back. As you exhale, let's slowly lift and try that on the other side. Okay, big breath in, open up through a twist first, squeezing our shoulder blades together, getting a gentle chest stretch. And as you exhale, hips go right the way back to heels, reach right the way through the space, and then press your armpit down towards your bicep to feel that stretch through your shoulder blade. As you exhale, keep pulling your shoulders away from your ears. And then slowly, when you're ready, let's lift all the way back up and relax. Okay, we have got a lat extension and a neck stretch to go through, and then we're going to be finished. All right, so when you're ready, come back to all fours, pop your fingers in front of you, and as you exhale, press your chin and your chest down to the floor. Okay, feeling a lovely stretch through our armpits, our triceps, our serratus anterior, and our lats. All right, some big back muscles. All right, so take a breath. As you exhale, think about pulling your belly button up to the ceiling and just pressing that chest down to the floor again. Keep retracting those shoulder blades as well. So you can feel the stretch just through your lats and serratus. Right, team, when you're ready, let's slowly roll all the way back up. Have a seat on our bottom and work through our neck stretches. Okay, so cross your legs or sit however you feel most comfortable. If you want to sit on your block, by all means, go for it. Okay, when you're ready, slowly pull your shoulders back and down, tip your ear over to one shoulder, and then take a big breath in. As you exhale, think about crunching your ear down towards your shoulder a little bit more and pulling your opposite shoulder away from your other ear. All right, once you've found that gentle wee stretch through your neck, take your hand to the side of your head. Focus on breathing in through the nose. And as you exhale, pull the shoulders away from your ears and just relax there. Nice team. Okay, when you're ready, turn your nose and your chin all the way down to the floor. Tuck your chin down towards your armpit and then just breathe. If you can, extend your arm out to the side. Breath in. And as you exhale, let's slowly get ourselves out of there and try the other side. All right, so when you're ready, just tip gently your ear towards the other shoulder. Focus on closing the gap this side and lengthening this side. Right, hand comes to the side of your head. If you need it, take a breath. And as you exhale, really focus on pulling the shoulders away from the ears, down towards your back pockets. And relaxing. When you're ready, let's turn the eye gaze and the nose down to the floor. Pull the back of your head down towards your armpit. Open your arm out to the side if you can. All right, take a breath. And as you exhale, long neck. Beautiful. All right. Hands come down, roll your shoulders up, back and down. There you go. That was a lovely stretch from the ground up. I hope you really enjoyed yourself. Thank you for joining me.